of this first meeting for year 2020. I have with me my commissioners, my Deputy Chief de Mission, Stephen, at saka my ED. I called up this meeting for very important reasons regarding the situations of coronavirus, and I was in conversation with my immediate superior yesterday of an advice, but yesterday morning the board have been discussing the situation, and the results of the board meeting was, unahin ko muna yung maliliit, we are postponing all our big events of the PSC, like the Philippine National Sports Summit on the 27 and 29. Number two, we are postponing the Philippine National Games on the third week of May. The National Summit is supposed to be held in PICC. The Philippine National Games will be held in Rizal Memorial and PhilSport Pasig. Magko-host sana ang Pasay, Manila, Makati. Then sa kabila, magko-host ang Pasig at saka Mandaluyong. So we are postponing all of this, including our children's games all over the country, except for pocket activities like coaches education, consultative meeting, because we are avoiding a bigger assembly of people for fear of the time. So temporary naman lang yan. Number two, na medyo malaking istorya, yesterday 2 o'clock we have a board resolution advising Paralympics or Paragames to possibly postpone the games on March. So this morning, ito po, basahin ko itong BR 344, resolved to approve and advise from higher authorities strongly recommending the postponement or cancellation, but postponement lang para hindi masakit, postponement of the 10th Asean Paragames on March 20 to 28 upon mutual consultations of the Philippine Paralympics Committee in view of the outbreak of novel coronavirus in the interest of public health, safety, and security. So this is our board resolution, and we discussed this matter with Mike Barrido, and in our discussion with Mike Barrido also this morning, I would like to announce that he will fly to Thailand tomorrow to discuss to the ASEAN Federation for Paralympics, because it is not the PSC under office of the President to declare na ma-postpone siya, but it is our duty to tell them na we're really precautionary, preventive, okay? Kasi hindi pa bumaba ang takbo ng panahon eh. So, and Mike Barrido, as he committed, will make a press con to say what happened to his discussion tomorrow with the President of Paralympics. Yan lang. So, questions?
Yeah, Bongka Galvez of Malay. So the National Sports Summit has been pushed back, sir, to when? Definite
Just
lang,
like
sir.
Philippine National Game.
Definite, sir.
When we say postpone, anything gumanda ang panahon, because the Secretariat and both activities are prepared. So, pag maganda na ang panahon, we can schedule the summit. At saka even the Philippine National Game, we can schedule that one.
Yes. Sir, there's a more pressing concern. Because you will be the venue of the Team Asia Badminton Championships, which will be supposedly scheduled next week. But there are teams from China, there are teams from Hong Kong, that are competing in the tournament, have you have any with the Philippine Badminton Federation regarding also recommending that possibly ma-postpone din po yung event po nila next week because you sir are the venue of this Team Asia Badminton Championships.
I will request my ED to communicate to Badminton Association for a meeting.
Yes sir.
Because the position of the Philippine Sports Commission talagang postponement of activities like this. But again, respect to the association, we have to consult them.
Yes, sir.
And it is them who will make
Kasi, please note sir that China and Hong Kong are participants in that supposedly badminton championship. So
we will leave it to the Badminton Association. Pero kami, ang maiwan lang yan natin activities is the flag ceremony Monday,
yes sir.
Consultative coaches, mga packet activities lang. Even children's games of 250, 300 children na pinopostpone namin initially.
So yun sir, you will communicate with them right away.
Yeah.
Kasi that will be a major concern sir.
Sige.
Yeah.
Peter Paul Patrick Lucas of RP2. Chairman, it seems that the reason for the postponement of the events that are mentioned here in the release is the NCOV. Don't you think this is going to send a chilling effect on especially yung mga kababayan natin sa provinces na parang na yung NCOV sa parang ano ba tawag dyan? Is a serious concern today. When the government stand is not like that, sabi nila open.
Since I am in charge of this office, it's really serious because isang tao lang mamatay dyan, it will really be a big problem. So, bakit ako maghintay na merong isang contamination o infected? So, mabuti na yung i-prevent mo yan kaysa may problema. Anyway, kung maayos naman, we can schedule those activities.
What measures?
Listening from the World Health Organizations, the biggest side effect of this coronavirus is really the trading, the commerce. Parang kasi the whole world is involved, affected by this. But again, I think that kind of fear and consciousness, afraid of contamination or viral infections, is really of concern at this time and could really be good to us to postpone rather than having one problem.
What steps has PSC taken to prevent yung contamination or the NCOV, especially our athletes preparing for the Olympics who have training and competition abroad, mga pre-qualifying, sir?
Samba si Mark. Actually, napag-usapan namin yan 2 days ago. We have medical groups at the PSC. We really take good care of the situation. Those athletes who are traveling, coming in, even inside the athletes. And I would like to give this microphone to Mark Velasco. Mark, you speak about our medical preventive activities.
Good morning. In terms of our preventive activities, we have put out several posters and information materials to our athletes and our coaches. Of course, with the board, they will not approve any travel to China, but nonetheless, any travel to international, to any country, they will be provided with caution. They will be constantly monitoring the situation. In fact, our medical team is actually working with the Department of Health because they are working closely for the preparation of Paragames, and incidentally, the team that's working with our medical team from the DOH is sila yung mga emergency response team for cases like this. So they're in constantly contact with their counterparts and they're given updates. But for general rule, of course, we encourage our athletes to practice proper hygiene, protect themselves, wear mask if they feel that they need to wear mask. But we have continuous communications with the coaches regarding informing our medical personnel kung saan yung activity nila and ano yung training nila. At constantly monitor yung mga athletes nila if some of their athletes might have symptoms of colds or kung ano man yung mga pwedeng mangyari sa kanila. In fact, nung last time when we have the Taal, we were very proactive in suspending the training, any outdoor activity. So that's how closely we monitor our athletes in terms of training.
Has PSC called for a meeting to NSAs who have athletes going to qualifiers which are scheduled February, March, and April until May? Especially yung mga, well, there have been cancellations already, numerous, especially in China, including training. Ano po yung magiging substitute ng training ngayon? Like Kaloy was supposed to train in China pero hindi na raw ngayon. Baka Russia na lang pumunta. And well, meron sila mga pre-qualifiers na may mga Chinese players din.
Nag-uusap ang PSC at saka yung team. With the NEC president, coaches and athletes, nag-uusap sila sa PSC as to the option of the cancellation of China as the venue of the qualifying. So, yun, nag-uusap kami, but it's really the call of the NSA. Just like this morning, we've been talking with the Weightlifting Association, kay Dylan Diaz sa Macron kung saan sila pupunta. Si Dylan Diaz, instead of China, she will proceed to Malaysia for training. We advise Macron to proceed her training to the United States. Both of them naman, may Team Hidilin, may Team Macron. So, yun. Yeah. Then, yun na si Obiena naman, may Team Obiena. Si Coach Petrov, si Coach yung sa Amerika, at saka tatay niya. Si Team Yulo, merong si Coach Mohe, at saka yung PT niya, plus si Carrion. So, ganun ang takbo. So, nag-uusap-usap kami. Medyo nagbabago ang panahon.
Excuse me, to add that, Peter, we just really have to wait and see how this virus play out in the coming 2 weeks, 1 month, no? Because even the IOC is a bit worried, no? July na, lumaki talaga to, no? Like in your first question, baka mataranta lang yung mga ibang tao na in-announce namin. Eh kung hindi naman natin i-announce ngayon, baka sabihin na naman, bakit ngayon lang? Di ba? Kagaya nung blame nila kay Presidente na bakit hindi kaagad binan yung China. So, we are proactive in this, no? Yung mga trips ngayon ng mga NSA, as far as my oversight is concerned, merong mga qualifying na pupuntahan sila. Well, it's played by ear naman. Kung walang nangyari, din tuloy sila. If not, we'll just have to cancel everything. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Chairman or Commissioner Mon, aside from gymnastics, boxing, and some other sports, what other NSAs with Olympic intentions are affected by the China crisis? Ano pa bang kung mga NSAs ang with the training stints in China have been told to find another place to train?
Well, ang una was boxing because Wuhan dapat yun, which is moved to Jordan. No? I haven't checked as far with in the case of my oversight sports, wala namang qualifying sa China. Mostly they're in Europe and in Paris and all that. No, I think Mark Velasco would know more or less on who are the countries or what sports were affected by qualifying that was supposed to be held in China.
Commissioner, not exactly qualifying, but training stints sila sa China. Sino po? Aside from the qualifying.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's just weightlifting. Of course, yung gymnastics, Kaloy was supposed to go there. I know EJ Obianya was there earlier this year, but due to some circumstance, pinabalik kaagad siya ni Coach Petrov, and hindsight, it was a good idea of the team EJ, kasi they were training for the indoor games. May indoor games actually ngayon. I think it's in Shanghai, Hangzhou. So that is also affected by the virus. But overall, we have to understand that this is not only sports is affected. I think everything, the whole world is affected. So I think we should approach it not in our own unique perspective, but how it affects the world. So
Ano talaga? The advice of the World Health, including the leadership of the government, has to avoid yung groups, no? Assembly of people. So it's just logical that PSC have so much of that. We really have to postpone it. That's why it was painful for us to give that board resolution to Mike Barrido, but we have to give it, but they have to call the shots. Because I have discussed this one yesterday with my immediate boss at Malacanang. But again, it is the call of Paragames. So that's why he will be flying tomorrow to Thailand. And it will be very stressful if you think with all this going on. Tapos you have your own Paragames, Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, then you have 60, 70 technical officials from China. Problema tayo dyan. And I don't want to be reprimanded by the president. Common sense ito eh. So that's why there are director, agency head, cabinet secretary to take charge of the office. It's not the job of the president to do that. It's the head of the office. So we are doing this for the good of the gym, no? the sports association, the Paralympic, and really for us. Then I think we will watch Mike Barrido when he returns from Thailand tomorrow. He will have his own press conference here. If I think if he listens to our advice and advice of my immediate boss, then common sense that he has to, or no? Yan lang. Yes, my friend.
Chairman, will I talk to former Commissioner Michael Barrido yesterday, and he did not give me an affirmative answer with respect to the postponement of the Paragames. So, what is the decision and the general consensus of all the members of the ASEAN?
Alam mo, I'm really concerned of Mike Barrido's emotions, because you could just imagine, the first it was postponed. Ngayon, ipo-postpone na naman. So, we don't want to be a problem of Paralympics, but all we want is we wanted to help, and it's everybody's concern. I think reason will tell us that we really have to postpone it. And yesterday, we did not discuss this matter because we would like this one to be private and confidential. But when I received an instruction from the higher-ups, I really have to tell him that I have to proceed with my press con this morning. But he has to make his press con finally when he returns from Thailand.
Chairman, the postponement of all the sports activities under the auspices of Philippine Sports Commission precisely will affect our performance in preparation for the 2021 Southeast Asian Games in Vietnam.
Well, yes and no. But if I were the NSA president, it is not only China which is the source of training. Europe is so vast, America, Australia, and other places. So, noong araw naman, yung ating mga Olympians, 1930s, 40s, Wala namang mga foreign exposure yun. Lahat lang, local training, naka-bronze, naka-silver, etc. Of course, with the modern training, we have to update with other countries. So it's really, I think it's the whole world affected by this. So I'm very, very sorry of this announcement.
Thank you so much, Chairman. This question is addressed to Mr. Stephen Fernandez. Stephen, para sa ito. You know, there are 4 taekwondo athletes that will compete in the Olympic qualifying to be held in Wuxi province. So, give me the latest update regarding their participation. Mapopostpone ba ito?
Actually po, good morning po sa inyo lahat. Unang-una po, pasalamat ako kay Chairman for being invited to join this press con. Pero regarding po sa qualifiers ng Taekwondo, actually meron na rin pong inquiry dahil ang venue ng aming qualifiers will be in Wuxi, China this April. So nagtatanong na rin po kami, but most likely, kung hindi po matutuloy ito, mamumove or another country will host it. But we are still awaiting final notice from the Asian Federation. Pero sa lineup po, may mga prospective yung mga nag-gold po ng SEA Games, pero wala pa pong final lineup kung sino po yung talagang pupunta sa qualifiers ng Taekwondo.
Si Mike Balido. Okay. Mike. I am giving to the microphone.
Mic test. Nag-umpisa na ba kayo?
Mr. Mike Barredo, since you arrived, can you speak about the possibility of Asean Paragames being postponed or rescheduled?
Well, I don't know. Did you make an announcement? Ano mo sinabi?
Our advice for postponement. But we're going somewhere tomorrow to meet.
Yes. Well, the situation is we've had a few meetings with the chairman and the board. And of course, bottom line or top of mind is that what is best for our para-athletes in the Philippines and of course our para-athletes in Southeast Asia. This is a health issue which is very difficult to really determine exactly when it will get worse or get better. So as the chairman mentioned, I guess earlier, we have been advised or are being advised by the Philippine Sports Commission, the board, and the government, I guess, to consider the possibility of, well, to consider postponement of the games and because of the situation with the coronavirus. So as a result, of course, the Sports Commission has its responsibility for the people to be protected. And in my case, we also have a responsibility to the Asean Parasports Federation, and therefore I am arranging a flight tomorrow to see the president of the Asean Parasports Federation to discuss how we may proceed considering the circumstances. So probably when I get back with some other consultations with other NPCs or National Paralympic Committee presidents, we'll be able to talk to you further exactly what we intend to do. Do we look at the possibility of April or May, depending on how the situation is with the coronavirus, or what are the next steps to take? So nandun kami ngayon. We're going to consult with our federation and colleagues in Southeast Asia.
Thank you. This question is addressed to chairman or anyone. Apart from the potential Olympic-bound athletes, yung mga local athletes po ba natin na nagte-train daily, na-apektuhan din po ba yung training nila?
Well, of course. We leave it to the NSA leadership and in consultation with our medical staff. While they chase their dream for medals in the international, we cannot exchange that for risking their lives on the virus going on. So, talagang apektado ang atleta.
Thank you. Last question balik ko kay Sir Stephen Fernandez. You mentioned, tama ba yung rinig namin na we will bid for the hosting just in case the qualifier for the Olympics in Taekwondo is moved?
No, I did not mention we will bid. But there may be a possibility that another country might host it due to the event happening now, yung coronavirus, dahil nasa China yung qualifiers. Baka meron lang mag-assume ng hosting. Pero wala pa kaming final notice. Pero meron na tayong formal inquiry regarding dito sa status ng qualifiers. Thank you.
Chairman, are you in constant coordination with the DOH? Because we have a dormitory here where we have several athletes, probably hundreds to 100, and because of the weather which is cold right now, prone tayo for people are prone to cold, flu, virus kasi malamig eh. Anong mga measures have we taken, like you go to this Century Park, pagpasok po yung guard, merong tawag yun, yung thermometer na tinitingnan. What is your sir, yung
Mark.
ruling nyo kung sakaling merong isa sa inyo na atleta nagkasakit, how do we isolate them from the rest?
Mark, you answered that question.
So far sa aming knowledge ngayon, there has been no suspected or person of interest na our athlete na having symptoms of having colds, but we regularly monitor them. If ever there is kung meron, they have a protocol in place naman. And some of our doctors are actually, in contact with the Department of Health.
Boss Mark, yung alam natin itong malamig tsaka this time of the year, prevalent talaga ang virus eh.